What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another new episode of WWE Content. I'm your host, Destiny Velasquez, and let's get into what happened at last night's Saturday Night Main Event. Now, to start off, you got Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, and of course, Drew McIntyre has been talking all the smack talk about how he was going to be Randy Orton. He knows what he's doing. He thinks Randy Orton lost his touch because he's old and he doesn't know what he's doing. But Randy Orton proved him wrong and he beat him. What I didn't like about during the match is that you got Logan Paul teaming up with Drew McIntyre. Like, are you serious? I mean, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Him and Logan Paul do kind of have like that egotistical, like bro thing or whatever, and how Logan Paul talks about he's like a great wrestler. Drew McIntyre thinks that he was the greatest one, and he should have been a world champion. We've heard the story many, many times when it came to Drew McIntyre. He blamed the bloodline for him not being a champion. He blamed the Judgment Day for not being a champion. He blamed Seth Rollins. He blames everybody for him not being a champion, but he should just take the blame for a little bit on himself because he caused this whole mess. He started fights with everybody, and plus, no one even likes him. They only team up with him because he's got strong muscles, and that's like bigger power for them in their matches when it comes to tag team or something to do like War Games when he teamed up with Judgment Day for bigger power and bigger strong suit. So for Drew and Logan Paul teaming up, I didn't see I didn't get it, but it's whatever. When with Randy Orton and Jelly Roll coming out, that was like the coolest thing ever. I mean, the way Jelly Roll came out and he was like lip syncing with the theme song and he was cheering, he was hyping the crowd like, "Come on, let's go, let's go!" And then when Jelly Roll knocked out Logan Paul, I'm like, "Are you freaking serious? You just got your butt kicked by a country star." Like what? I mean, it's not a surprise that we have seen celebrities wrestle W superstars. I mean, Snoop Dogg, you got Jelly Roll, you got Bad Bunny, you got Rob Gronkowski, you got Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. Like these guys are like actors, or they're actors, sports entertainers. They do football or baseball, and they attack wrestlers. I mean, do you guys remember a Backlash in Puerto Rico when Bad Bunny faced Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight? That to me was like the coolest match I ever saw. So with Jelly Roll punching Logan Paul in the face, I'm like, oh my god, that was a perfect shot too, and he knocked him out cold. What I didn't like is that Drew McIntyre kicked him in the face. Like, dude, he wasn't there for you. He doesn't care about you. He's only there for Randy Orton because that's his boy. He supports him. But then you kick him in the face, like, dude, he doesn't want anything to do with you. Like, why did I kick him in the face for? I didn't like that. But then by the end, when Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were yelling at Logan and Drew McIntyre, I'm like, oh god, they're gonna get fined. Because if you think about it, I mean, Drew McIntyre did hit a country star who's not an artist, who's not a WWE superstar. So I think they're probably gonna get fined. Maybe I think 50 grand. I think, or maybe 10 grand for hitting someone who's not a wrestler. But we'll see what happens in the long run. But then after that, Jelly Roll wants to fight Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I'm like, what the heck is going on? We got now another celebrity who wants to fight wrestlers. Oh my god, it was incredible. Like they made that match official. So now second match card for SummerSlam, that would be Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Either day one or day two, we're not sure yet, but it's going to be very interesting. Plus, I looked at the statistics on Drew McIntyre's match numbers wise for him going to Saturday Main Event and having a match. He is now 0-3. He lost against Jey Uso at the first Saturday Main Event. He lost to the one last week, a couple weeks ago, when it was him and Damian Priest in a steel cage match, and now he's lost against the legend killer himself, Randy Orton. So I feel like his match number wise for Saturday Main Event is not looking good for him in his career. After that, of course, you get, the celebrities coming out, the W Hall of Famers coming out, representing Saturday Main Event, representing the people of Atlanta, with Jade Cargill, like, doing her thing, like, hey guys, I'm here. Naomi coming out, and she's beating the crap out of her. I'm like, this is what I wanted. Just like a little sneaky preview of what's going to happen in Evolution, which is tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't miss it. And then you got Nick Aldis coming out, and he's like, I get it. You guys wanted to fight, but For you guys to have a nice, good standard match in a no holds bar, BTW is actually no holds bar match, so stay tuned for that. He decided to get a special guest referee. And guess who was a special guest referee? Bianca Belair, Jay Cargill's former tag team partner slash Naomi's former tag team partner, now ex best friend of Naomi. Naomi's still mad at her. Bianca hasn't spoken to Jay Cargill since the incident that happened in Elimination Chamber. So I don't know how she's gonna make this happen as another special guest referee. Last time when she was a special guest referee, she special guest refereed Rhea Ripley at Io Sky's match, and she screwed it up. She screwed up everything. Yes, she got kicked in the face. Yes, she got beat up a few times, but that's just how it is. You're a wrestler too, and you're a referee, but you still get beat up regardless, so what's the big deal? Well, in my eyes, I was like, what was the big deal? After that whole crazy situation, now it's official. We have a no holds barred Jade Cargill versus Naomi at Evolution tonight, but with a little twist of Bianca Belair being the special guest referee. How is that going to end? I have absolutely no idea, but it's going to be a very interesting match of how she is going to have to choose between her best friend and her ex best friend, but she still cares about her. So, whatever the case is, it's going to be a crazy, crazy match. After that, you got Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso. Big brother versus little brother for the US Championship. Of course, Solo Sikoa comes out with his MFT, and of course, it's a numbers game. And like we always knew, Solo was going to retain. Although I do feel kind of bad that Jimmy didn't win, but this is a setback. Once he becomes either a US champion, or maybe who knows, he can go to Raw, become the Intercontinental champion. Whatever happens, it's going to be a great, cool singles title reign for him. Just like how his brother Jay did, he's going to have a great singles titles run as well. But for the U.S. Championship, let's wait later on in the future when Solo loses. Of course, after the match, you got the MFT beating the crap out of Jimmy Uso. And guess who comes to his aid to help? Jacob Fatu. Now, last week he was put through a table, which was kind of crazy about he was put through a table and all situation between him and Solo and the new family. So when he came back and he destroyed everybody, I was like, you cannot beat down the Samoan werewolf. It's impossible. You cannot beat him down. Braun Strowman couldn't beat him. Bronson Reed can't beat him. Heck, I don't even think Braun Breaker could beat him. I feel like Braun Breaker could spear Jacob Fatu. He get up, do his little shaky dance thing, and he's good. If that were the case, that would be pretty funny in my opinion. So after that, Jacob Fatu takes out the MFT. He takes out Solo Sikoa. So I feel maybe by next week or at SummerSlam we might see Solo and Jacob Fatu have their rematch again for the US Championship. If that's the case, we could see Tama Lowe come back and help Jacob Fatu get the title back. But who knows? We gotta find out in the long run. After that, we have Seth Rollins and LA Knight. Now, the Seth Rollins LA Knight match, I mean, it wasn't all that bad, but then when Seth Rollins tweaked his knee, I'm like, nah, man, he's joking. He's joking. He's playing us. He's just pretending so that way he can do a low blow on LA Knight, or he can attack him, or maybe somebody from ringside like Bronson or Braun Breaker was gonna come after him and attack him. Sadly, that wasn't the case, and his injury is actually real. His knee is hurt pretty badly, so he's probably going to be out for a few weeks. I hope and I do pray that Seth Rollins makes a speedy recovery and he comes back to WWE to finish off the rest of his storyline with his new crew. For that and his new storyline, now they have to go back to square one to see how they're going to scramble everything up with his Money Brave briefcase, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, what they're going to do. I mean, they're now still a crew with Paul Heyman, but now Seth Rollins is not going to be there, so he can't call the shots anymore. Plus, we don't even know what's going to happen with Plan B. Seth Rollins said he had a Plan B, and now that's going to backfire because he's going to be out for a few weeks, maybe almost a few months. Heck, he might even miss SummerSlam for all we know because he's not going to cash in on anybody. With that, still, I hope and do pray that Seth Rollins makes a speedy recovery and he returns to WWE nice and healthy in order to fight his enemies. Now, the last match of the night was Gunther versus Goldberg. I mean, look, Goldberg is WWE Hall of Famer. He was a legend in WCW. He was a legend in WWE. He conquered literally all the people with a jackhammer a spear, and then his record was like, I don't even know. I think people said 117 and 0 in WCW, and his greatest achievement was when he beat Hollywood Hulk Hogan in his hometown Atlanta to become the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. When he did his old entrance with, his crew, the bodyguards, and his son, I'm like, this is how you make a final match great for yourself. A nice send off because of what he's done for the past few years in the WWE and WCW, of how he made so relevant and how he just managed to literally pulverize everybody who came after him for his title, which is pretty awesome. Although I did expect a little more, like something along the lines of, like, at the time when I thought Seth Rollins was joking, I thought he was gonna come in, cash in, and make a triple threat match. I thought that maybe Paul Heyman was gonna come out and maybe distract Gunther or something to make sure Goldberg won. But then I remembered it's Goldberg's last match, and if he wins, that means he could vacate the title and just retire, just like that. So during the match, I was a little hesitant to see if Seth Rollins was going to cash in or not cash in, or just like, like pretend he was going to cash in to scare off Gunther. Sadly, that wasn't the case, and Gunther retained. Again, I did expect a little bit more from that because, it's Goldberg. Like, I mean, yeah, he did spear him. Yeah, he jackhammered him. He could have won, but it was a retirement match, and the way he managed to stand on his own 2 feet with his family, his friends, the people he wrestled back in the day in WCW, it was a nice send off. Although for Gunther's next contender, I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Jey Uso again. It could be maybe Finn Balor if he wants to become a World Heavyweight Champion again. It could be AJ Styles. It could be, basically could be anybody to go after Gunther's title. But people, let's not forget, Seth Rollins is still Money in the Bank. He can still cash in at any time. And just because he's injured, it doesn't mean that he's going to go to physical therapy, get his knee back into shape, and then go back into the ring to wrestle a bunch of people and curb stomp them. That we will see in the later long run in the next few weeks, probably before SummerSlam or maybe after SummerSlam. We could see Seth Rollins come back and cash in to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Who knows though? Now, with Saturday main event over, we have now Evolution, the all WWE Women's PLE. Now, like I said before a few weeks back, I have heard rumors being spread around that Paige is coming back to the WWE. Last time we saw her was, I think, back in 2017, 2018, and she left to go to AEW. Now she's not under contract at AEW. She's a free agent. So far, she has been hinting and teasing that she said she was going to return to Evolution. If that is it true? I don't know, but we will find out tonight to see if she's going to be in the Women's Battle Royale, or if she's going to be ringside, like, we're supporting all the girls of WWE, seeing all the matches and stuff. Whatever the case is, I'll be really happy when she returns. Of course, we have the tag team match of Roxanne and Raquel versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Sierra and Sol Raku and Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now, these teams are crazy unstoppable beasts. Raquel, she's got a perfect Tejano bomb finisher. You got Ziara, she's crazy fast and she's super strong. Just like Rhea Ripley. She gives me Rhea Ripley vibes. With Sol Raku, she is the WWE champion and the WWE NXT Women's North American champion. So far for her past couple of title defenses, she has done a really good job. Even with Zari's help, she has done a great job thus far in her title reign. And of course, you got the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Last time they were WWE Tag Team Champions, it was when they were in Damage Control until Damage Control betrayed Bayley, and then they lost the tag team titles to Bianca and Jay Cargill. With that, you got Charlotte Flair, the queen of the WWE, and Alexa Bliss, who has such fire in her system that she wants to take down anybody that gets in her way. So far, since she came back to WWE, she has done a very, very, very great job thus far. Now teaming up with Charlotte Flair, that's going to be a great tag team match for all these women. After that, you got a triple threat match, which is Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, these three girls were best friends until Becky Lynch betrayed Bayley after she was still mad at her for attacking her at the time when she was in Damage Control. Lyra and Bayley were really, really close, and Bayley congratulated her when she was the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. But of course, when Bayley was this close to becoming Intercontinental Champion 2 weeks ago, Lyra came in and ruined everything. Plus, they had an agreement that if Bailey won the Intercontinental Champion, she was going to let Lyra become the first contender and first person to defend the title against her. Sadly, that didn't happen because she was too upset with Becky Lynch and she had to attack her. Now, these two girls have had a long history in WWE. Lyra Valkyria looked up to Bailey. She looked up to Becky. Becky was her role model. Her and Becky teamed up at WrestleMania, and they became WWE Tag Team Champions. And for a brief moment, Lyra Valkyria was a double champion for about 24 hours until they lost against Liv and Raquel, which made Becky Lynch betray Lyra, and it went haywire from there. With Bailey coming back, I was happy. I'm like, this could be her chance. She could have another singles run for the WWE Women's Continental Championship. But then Lyra had to butt in and screwed everything up. Now instead of a one-on-one match, we got a triple threat match. Although I am happy for the triple threat match, I'm excited to see whether or not we're gonna see Becky retain, or I'm sorry if you guys are Lyra, I'm sorry if you guys are Lyra fans, but my money is on Bailey. I've been wanting her to get that title forever, and this could be her final shot to get that title, and especially to beat Becky Lynch for that, that will be like the cherry on top of the sundae. After that, you got, of course, Naomi and Jade Cargill in a no holds bar match with a special guest referee, Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca has had a tough decision to make ever since she found out that Naomi attacked Jade Cargill, and she hasn't spoken to neither Naomi or Jade Cargill the past few months. And after what happened in WrestleMania, she still hasn't talked to them since. Now, I don't know if she's still cool with Jade Cargill or if she's still talking to her, but so far we have known that Bianca has blocked Naomi's phone calls, texts. She's been calling her the past few months, and yet nothing's happened so far. So if Bianca lets Jade Cargill win, then I don't know how to react to that because that's just literally messed up. Also, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, the WWE Hall of Famer for the WWE Women's Champion. If Trish Stratus does win, she'll become a 8-time World Women's Champion. Also, if Trish Stratus does beat Tiffany Stratton, we will see her face Jade Cargill at SummerSlam. But of course, it is Tiffy time, so if Tiffy does retain, we will definitely see her go up against Jade Cargill at SummerSlam. But let's not forget, Naomi still has Money in the Bank, and she will cash in at any moment, at any time, and become the new Women's WWE Champion. After that, you got the Women's Battle Royale. So far, all I know who's in the Women's Battle Royale is Ivy Nile, Nikki Bella, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, um, some of the girls from NXT like Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend. You got basically almost half the roster from both Raw and SmackDown, and a little bit of the women's roster from NXT. So that's gonna be a very interesting match. Plus, if we see Paige return for the women's battle royale, that would be the coolest thing. It would be kind of like a Divas reunion, like when Natalia and Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, and Naomi like all coming together one last time. Because back in the good old days, in the Total Divas era, you saw them representing WWE Women's Wrestling, and not to mention that Paige was the youngest WWE Divas champion in her time. She was like I think in her 20s when she won that, so she was the youngest one to win the WWE Divas Championship. For her to come back to represent the women of WWE and to be in the Battle Royale, that would be the coolest thing ever. After this, we have the JC Jane versus Jordan Grace match for the WWE Women's NXT Championship. Now that match is gonna be tough because JC Jane's got her crew and Jordan Grace is all alone. But with the Glam Girl from AEW coming to WWE NXT and teaming up with JC Jordan from yesterday at American Bash, I feel like they're gonna be a tag team for a while. But for Jordan Grace to win the WWE Women's NXT Championship, that will be perfect on her record because she was a TNA superstar for a while and she beat everybody and she became the TNA Women's World Heavyweight Championship. The way she debuted at Royal Rumble 2 years ago and then she debuted again last year, it was the coolest thing. She was crazy strong. She eliminated a bunch of girls, and the way she fought with the WWE women, it was insane and really, 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 really cool. And of course we have an update. The main event fight tonight will be Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I like both of them. I mean, Rhea Ripley, she's been my girl since day one when I saw her wrestle Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39, and she beat her at WrestleMania in the main event. Io Sky, she's crazy cool, she's wicked smart, and plus, whenever she's involved in war games and she has a trash can involved, it makes me kind of laugh when she does her high fly thing with a trash can. It's pretty awesome. But for both of them to fight, I mean, I'm sorry. If you guys are Io Sky fans, my money's on Rhea Ripley. I mean, if you look at the facts, Rhea has never beaten her. Io has beaten her every single time she's faced her in a ring. The Mae Young Classics, NXT, and then recently of March last year of March she beat her again for the WWE Women's Heavyweight Championship. Now, again, I know people are Io Sky fans and they want her to retain, but I'd be happy if my girl Rhea became a three-time women's world champion. I mean, she deserves this. She's been through so much already. Plus, her not having a title though, she's been doing really good thus far. I mean, she managed to go through Raquel in a street fight in Saudi Arabia, and she literally riptied this girl on a table. Bam, slammed her into the ring. That match was pretty crazy, especially how Roxanne tried to help her, but the next thing you know, Roxanne got hit with a trash can. Again, that was pretty funny in my opinion. So for the main event, Io and Rhea. Now, people have been talking about this for I don't know how many weeks, and people are saying Io's going to retain, Io's going to retain, and then other people are saying that no, Rhea's going to beat her, Rhea's going to beat her. If Rhea does beat her, that means one, she finally beats Io Sky, and two, she breaks the cycle of beating Io Sky. The last 3 or 4 times she's failed to beat her. This could this could be her one final shot to beat Io Sky. And if she does, that would be a perfect pivotal moment in her career. Plus, if she is going to be a women's world heavyweight champion by SummerSlam, who knows? Maybe a personal somebody, like a former rival of hers, can fight her again for WWE World Heavyweight Champion in her hometown. Hint, hint. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then I'll need to say the name. Well, let's see. Other than that, it's already been a crazy weekend. With what happened on Friday with the Wyatt Six becoming the new W Tag Team Champions, you got a new tag team in the tag team division, which is Ray Phoenix and Andrade. You got from last night, Randy Orton beating Drew McIntyre, and then Drew McIntyre claymoring Jelly Roll in the face, and now Jelly Roll wants to fight them at SummerSlam. Then you got Goldberg's final match, which was a really great match for him, and I'm so happy that he managed to do it in his hometown with his family and his friends and his W Hall of Famer friends. I wish him nothing but the best of luck on the next chapter of his journey as he was done with the WWE. And of course, tonight we have Evolution. Man, I am actually really excited for Evolution. Last time they had it was, I think, back in 2017. I didn't watch it at the time, but now I get to see my girl Rhea. I get to see Nikki Bella come back and wrestle all these women again. Seeing Nikki Bella returning was like the coolest moment I could ever see. And with her Bella army still standing strong after all these years, it's pretty awesome to see her come back. Now, if she does win the Battle Royale, that would mean she would face a champion in Clash in Paris. Who could it be? Trish Stratus or Tiffany Stratton or Jay Cargill or Naomi? We will see. Along with whether or not she would want to fight either Io Sky or Rhea Ripley for Clash in Paris. Whatever the case is, we will find out later on after Evolution, and then Monday following up, we will see what will happen for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship and for the Men's WWE World Heavyweight Champion with their contenders. So far, we know is for Cody Rhodes and John Cena for their match at SummerSlam. Let's say their rematch at WrestleMania match at SummerSlam. Now, with Cody Rhodes and John Cena having their rematch, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not a bad match to have, but at the same time, you still gotta remember that John Cena wants to ruin wrestling, Cody Rhodes wants to save it, but then he's still got a lot of enemies on his hands. He's gotta deal with half the people on SmackDown. And then he's gotta deal with people going from Raw going to SmackDown trying to take away John Cena's title. Not to mention that he had to beat his best friend slash mentor Randy Orton to be King of the Ring in order to get to John Cena. With Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes' friendship, I still don't know whether or not like they're cool or they're okay because Randy Orton hasn't talked to Cody Rhodes in a while, so I don't know what's happening in his mind of whether or not he's gonna turn heel on Cody Rhodes Or better yet, he could make John Cena retain at SummerSlam, and that will lead to another match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Until then, John Cena's still a champion. He's got to look out after everybody coming after him. Whatever the case is, it's going to be a crazy, bumpy ride. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.